Welcome back to 4 Geeks by Geeks, where geeks come to geek out, and T gets yelled at by Jeff Sitz for doing things he's not supposed to. Welcome back to Session 3, Episode 4 of our new campaign, City of Mist, which to date still does not have a working title because, again, I fucking hate naming things, i.e. one of the biggest reasons we have Cantina 13 making our character generator, because why use my brain when I can use great websites? As always, I am T.
I am Boser.
All of those B's are canonical in his name. I'm Alex.
What is our... Do we have, like, a fixed...
No. Order?
Rotation.
Order?
No, we just kinda
that's why
So what
after
fun would that
myself
be?
and Boser, it just stops.
Yeah, it sort of happens. We just kind of mix around the middle a little bit. Usually we try to start and end with the same people, but who knows?
Yeah,
I'm Lucas.
I'm Jeff Sitz.
And you would think at this point that we'd be, professionals, but really, when we're together, we're a bunch of 12-year-old boys, and we've not
100%.
outgrown that stage, so...
I know what I'm doing with my life until I start hanging out with you guys. And then it's all up in the air.
Wow, way to flex that you know what you're doing with your life.
That's what I'm saying, out here making me feel bad before we fucking start doing our session. Jesus.
Fuck around, find out. It's just the way life goes.
It's been my life motto up to this point, and I've been doing a lot of finding out lately, and I'm not a fan. So anyways, if you are just joining us in, we are playing a little TTRPG called City of Mist, built by Son of Oak, which is a Powered by the Apocalypse system. It is a 2d6 game system that is much more cinematically driven. Our players do a lot of the narrative storytelling, and I fill in the blanks based off the mechanics that are built around the game. Up until this point, our heroes have been investigating a murder in their national park, or their city park, that has led them to a building called the Echelon High Rise.
High Rise.
The Echelon High Rise, where two of them made friends with the doorkeep. One of them pissed the doorkeep off.
Listen, I tried.
And the last just never met him and just snuck in through the back for whatever reason he decided. They're getting ready to investigate the apartment of the first victim. They are on a time clock of 3 days until the next victim of this killer or beast or monstrosity strikes again, and they are working to prevent that because the Pandora Police Department has no clues on what to stop.
And please, we have a name for this killer now. The Animal in Edith Park.
Dun, dun, dun.
Sounds like a police department's name for something, so way to be fitting.
No, they would be.
We're gonna bring in the
he's
squirrel that we
icebreaker.
find.
The squirrel.
I was say it's a raccoon. Come on.
Yeah, fuck that, guys. It's just an angry
The
raccoon.
trash panda in
It's just
Edith
a-
Park.
It's just a furry con that takes place every
It's just
week or so.
All right.
it's a roided out trash panda.
Guess I'm scratching off that fucking idea. Thanks for ruining it, guys.
We solved the case.
We solved the case. Good job.
Moving on. This game is easy.
But yeah.
Here's on Detective Cooper.
If you guys would remind anybody new that is coming in, you can catch up on our episodes on anywhere you get your podcasts: Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, Anchor, if you like using the upload software to listen to podcasts. You can also watch the VODs on Twitch for 2 weeks, or we upload them to YouTube, so they will last as long as the internet does. Or 20 years, because I heard things deteriorate after that point, but who knows.
I don't think we've got 20 years left, so really that's as long as the internet.
There we
Exactly,
go.
so the rest of your life, you will be able to watch our tomfoolery happen.
So
The rest
dark.
of your short, precious life.
All right, Alex, if you could do me a favor and introduce yourself, your character, a brief character description, and your new fun fact for this week.
Hey, so I'm Alex. I'm like 5'8". No, I'm playing Colin Blackfoot, who's a former. Well, I guess he's the cat's out of the bag. He's a murderer out on parole. I know.
Who hasn't?
He's a fairly tall, put-together gentleman, and well, physically at least.
His victim wasn't.
They were short, is what you're saying? I do
No, put
target
together.
short people. Tall people supremacy. I'm role playing. Ignore me. The reason that he is so well built and put together actually is that he played hockey in high school. That was part of a local. It's his fun fact. He wasn't very good, but he had a lot of energy and spirit as a youth that the prison system did not treat kindly. But he was pretty in shape around the time that he went to prison. So
I didn't see that one coming. All right.
not me either. I just made that up. So that's the fun part of this game is we can just say things.
All right,
Guys, I've
Boser.
already got 100 character facts on a list. Like,
At
do
least
your
one,
fucking
at least
homework.
one of my
Send me the
brothers has
spreadsheet.
a built character because one person
It's a
is still fucking establishing. We'll get to
Aren't
him
we
at
all?
the end, though.
Aren't we all just fucking
Yeah.
establishing when you get down to brass tacks? Hi, I'm playing Cornelius Averdelius III, but his friends call him Dell, and be honest, they're all his friends. And he's got as you can see in the cool picture, he's got a cool undercut. He's like the coolest guy that I'll never be. And fun fact is he used to be right-handed before he lost his right arm. And so he had to kind of switch to a lefty.
Also, fun fact, Dell is a switch.
2 for 1.
I don't know what that means.
Anyways, Jeff
Oh,
sits.
Boser.
I'm still practicing being worldly, but
You
I
sweet
need
summer
more
child.
help.
Somebody give him a dictionary. Let's just.
I'm gonna Google while Jeff sits goes.
So a
be
switch is a
careful
thing
with
that
that
turns
one.
the lights on and
Yep.
off. I'm pretty sure.
You may want to throw that search into a different search engine than Google.
Dog pile.
Yeah, like being. Oh.
But I am Jeff Sitz. I am playing Andresh Amitz, a gender fluid tech goblin, essentially, who runs the Neon Pillars as their alter ego, the Broker. Thin, lean, athletic to an extent. And again, they've got like the sharp cheekbones, almost feminine facial features, matched with just the slender, masculine frame. And fact about them is that they did not make the Raven drones. They stole them during their rise to power.
If you could shoot me a quick message of from who?
Doesn't I don't know.
Can confirm Dell is a switch.
That would
Okay. 2 fun facts from Dell today. Incredible.
Extra fun facts.
it's amazing. But
I'm gonna expect 2 from you from now on as we do these.
Done.
I will say my thoughts on immediately on me stealing the Raven drones was that the tech itself was stolen from Dell or his workshop in some way. Just because Dell's the tech savvy one.
Tech. Use the word tech loosely.
Okay.
You'll find one of my actual weaknesses is that no tech allowed.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't do
Computers.
wires in computers.
Gotcha. Well, then that idea's out the door. So yeah, I don't
Then
know.
bye.
I'm not an electrical engineer. Sorry.
Right. I'm a
Just
mechanic.
During the Broker's rise to power, there were these drones around the city, and they kept taking them, reprogramming them, and sending them back out as their own private cameras until they finally had an army of them just going around the Neon Pillars.
Were they like part of the PPD?
Possibly. That's for the
PPD.
that's for
PP
the
Andy.
MC
That's me.
to decide.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We're building the city. We're building the city, but he's telling the story, but we're not doing that. I don't know. I'm playing
And
Detective
Leslie
Cooper.
is the piece of shit that took a month to come up with a refound character after telling us for 6 months he was going to make one. Lucas.
A month? Ah, come on.
I said refound for a reason. He's like, I figured out a character. And then you start playing. I'm like, I'm not playing that character anymore.
Yeah, I've never done that before. Insert joke we made, I think, honestly, last session. Exactly.
And every session from here on out.
Yeah, every session from
This
here on
is your
out.
penance.
Hey,
Until I get it out of my system.
I'm gonna, continue to be like, nah, actually, I want to do this, and I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna go out of my way to make sure I change something on my character sheet every session. Every session.
I can't wait just to see
Insert
now at the end of the campaign.
Look, insert power tag adaptable. Here we go.
Oh, a changeling? Never played that before.
Okay, so I'm Lucas. I'm playing Detective Cooper, and
Sly Cooper.
Spencer Cooper, in case you wanted to know his first name.
Spencer. No, just Cooper. You can just call
I
him
didn't.
Cooper.
Mythos Sly
He's
Cooper.
Cooper squared.
Cooper.
I thought it was Dick Cooper.
Anywho, fun fact about Cooper. This is really hard because I really don't know. Because I don't know what I'm playing. Cooper used to have his own mythos, and he used to have powers of divination. And when he was just a beginning street cop, and slowly but surely got pulled into the gatekeeping program to continue his detective work, but against those who would use their newfound powers for evil.
And I'm T. I am the master of ceremonies for this campaign. If you're curious what a gatekeeper is, me fucking too, because I haven't read up on it yet. So
It's in the extra compendium of the player guide that you have to special order with a certain promo code. So no one's gonna know.
Conceptually, I know what it is. I haven't fucking built the lore into the campaign quite yet. But and my fun fact is, last night, thanks to TikTok, I figured out a big question I had for the campaign. So that was chef kiss.
Is it what is a switch? Is that your question?
Damn. Is it why am I difficult? Because I always have to pick random super specific
Sir, I've been
things.
putting up with you for 20 years. I know how difficult you are.
And there's no answer to that.
Exactly. It just is what it is. C'est la vie.
C'est la vie.
But on that note, let us get into this tale of woe and sorrow, tale of darkness and murder at the moment, and whatever the fuck else comes to light, because we'll see how this plays out. One of my favorite things that we get to do with this game are called cinematic moves. At the beginning of each session, one player sets the mood by describing his character's thoughts and feelings. And that voiceover monologue will be coming in from none other than the Boser himself.
Oh, we're about to set the mood. Ooh. Well, here's a little peek into Dale's mind. Well, now ain't this a pickle? Here I am trying to protect the fame at the Foundry from all this mist shit, and now thanks to that shithole D.A. Pierce Snyder, I gotta chase this mist to protect the Foundry from him. Well, ain't like it. I haven't been chasing these answers on my own for the past year or so, anyhow. You know, those little questions like, who am I really, and what are all these powers? If only that incident at the Foundry didn't knock the memory out my damn head all those years ago. You know, I get these flashes, and there's the dreams, of course, but... ah, hell. Might as well keep pulling the string and just see what happens at the end of it.
Our opening shot will be pitch blackness as the sound of a door creaks open as light begins to protrude into a dark hallway. As the door swings open, a dark X is silhouetted through the door as 4 individuals stand on the other side. The one Detective Cooper ripping down the crime scene tape. You guys peer into this dark hallway and see it absolutely littered with trash. Trash bags have been ripped and thrown across the hallway. Food wrappers are everywhere. And as you enter Samit's home, it is an absolute train wreck. The house has been completely turned over. The sofa has been completely destroyed. Cotton and whatever fluff fills up sofas has been just strewn around, intermixed with the trash. Curtains have been ripped off of the walls. Electronics in the home have been completely smashed. But the house is silent. You hear nothing but your own breathing and footsteps as you make your way down the hallway. And as you look around, you see claw marks as you see this, what once was very finely laid wood flooring has been completely destroyed.
Completely destroyed as in, like, just with claws, or like are panels pulled up?
Just clawed up trash everywhere.
I think Colin turns to Cooper and says, "Was this like this when your guys checked the place out, or is this recent?"
Oh no, this mess is here when we got here. It kind of makes it hard to figure out what's going on, because you move a pile of trash and you just get more claw marks, and you move that pile of trash, and there's a lot going on here.
Was Samit attacked here?
Oh
Yeah, I thought he was attacked at Edith Park.
Oh, he was killed at Edith Park. Yes, we think this originated here, and he was trying to make his way somewhere. And
But didn't we see in that little vision back at the park that he was just out on a run?
I don't know if that was me or not.
Yes, that was Samit.
So
Well-
something was off about the vision.
Possibly, or
Who gets attacked in their apartment, puts on the running shoes, and just goes for a light jog?
you're running and something caught you.
It could have also come back here after killing Samit.
That's also
Can I-
very likely.
There's a good point.
I want to look for
A
This is-
timestamp on the claw marks.
yeah. I want to look for a timestamp on the. No, I want to look for a like a planner of some kind.
Okay.
I think that anybody living in the high rise. Is this a nice apartment?
Yes,
Yeah.
this is your
Yeah.
upper class of Pandora.
I either want to look for. I'm sure that like his phone is probably already in custody. But I would like to look for a planner or
Yeah.
a calendar or something
Do
like
you
that.
have any power tags that'd be useful for this
The
investigation
only
role?
thing I can think of for this particular one would be identify what matters or savvy
Okay.
and streetwise. Just kind of like,
I'd allow identify what matters.
yeah. So I'm just gonna add 1 to this.
Is this Alex's first roll?
No, I rolled something else against the ADA or the DA.
Gotcha. I couldn't remember if you.
I didn't roll it all last session though. I just had
That's
to
what.
bluff
Okay,
my
that's
way
what
through
it
life.
was.
Well, it's a 4 total.
Including your power tags.
Yes, including my power tags. So
Okay.
I'm
Uh,
just kind of like flipping over stuff. I think that I'm perhaps being a little too destructive with my searching. I'm not known for my delicacy, so
Oh no.
And that's exactly what it is. You are kind of not really paying attention to the trash in the area as you're like just kind of throwing it over your shoulder as you're kind of looking through things. Things are falling off the countertop and onto the floor. And while you're searching through this, it's a modest size apartment, but it is a single man's apartment. There's one master bedroom, one master bathroom, the living room, the kitchen, and there is a guest bath. So it's a relatively smaller apartment. But yeah, Colin, as you were kind of looking through, trying to weed through the trash, you can't quite come up with anything.
Now listen here, I know it's a mess in here, but Jesus, can we try to keep the scene intact a little bit?
it's not like it can get much worse.
I mean, it can. You just want to take the pictures off the wall, like.
Colin's like punching a picture frame. We can't get worse than this. It's got to be
Speaking of
behind the
pictures-
photos.
Speaking of picture frames, are there any pictures of Samit with anybody that is important to him? Like family or a significant other?
So that's going to be another investigate roll.
Okay, and I'm going to use my power tag, Eye for Detail.
Sure, that's a great one.
Can I help him out somehow? I think through my own idiocy.
There is a way to help, and I believe you have to have juice generated for that.
All right.
Explain the juice. I'm not good at this juice thing.
So that's okay.
Tell
That
me
is
about your juice.
That is a very confusing one. That one is based around change the game.
Okay.
And let me, because I have my little cliff notes of it. But
Oh wait, so you can use change the game to give your allies an advantage, and then
yes,
that's
correct.
the help someone out roll from like monster of the week. So this is
yes.
how I would roll plus power to do something.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, to give, and then you give an advantage.
Yes. Yeah, so juice points represent your ability to shape the scene. To generate juice, you change the game. Each point of juice allows you to create one story tag, burn one power tag or story tag, create a tier 1 status and give a +1 tier for every additional point of juice spent, reduce their tier of a status by 1. Juice can only create effects related to the action you took to generate it. Its method, you can bank juice, but it expires when its method becomes obsolete.
And
So-
is there a place to track that? On these
so-
tracking cards?
On the tracking cards, no, but I believe on your character sheet there is a place to mark juice.
I think so.
Yeah, I believe it's at the top of your character sheet on one of the first cards. I believe there is
For
like
story
a juice.
tags. Because you spend juice on story tags normally, so.
I
Tags.
I figured the battery on the tracking card. I just clicked that one, have it circled, and put the tag as juice.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, that's perfect. And again, the big thing to note there, the juice is only prevalent when that change the game roll affects directly the juice it came from.
Yeah, so you've got to have something like, I was looking at it earlier. There's a little bit from the handbook that I want to share just to clarify that.
Please.
Where was it? The effects you wish to generate with your juice must fit its method and circumstances in which you are using it. For example, if your method was healing powers, and that's how you created the juice, you cannot use the juice then to conjure a suitcase full of money or give yourself an advantage in a battle of wits.
Yes.
Similarly, if you are an ordinary paramedic patching up a crewmate in the heat of battle, the MC may rule that you cannot heal the injuries completely, only reduce the pain and provide first aid. So it's just like, what you need to use I would just use the tracking cards and then just write down what the juice is in that. Because the circumstances and how you created the juice affect when, how, and where you can use it moving forward.
But yeah, to answer your question, Alex, I will allow you to help. So go ahead. We'll do your roll first. So go ahead and roll for change the game.
Okay. Do I have to state the power that I'm using to?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. I am going to use. I have one called incriminating evidence. Colin spent a
Okay.
lot of years trying to exonerate himself, so he did a little bit of like
that's a great
studying and investigative work. Not a very savvy person, but you know.
No, I will absolutely allow that.
That's cool.
That's a 9. 5 plus 3 plus 1.
So with a 9, 10 plus, you get minimum of 2. Oh, so on the 9, I'll say yep. You get 1 juice, and that'll be used as a juice for investigation. You can now give that juice to Boser to give him a +1 if you would like.
I think that it looks a little bit like Colin walking up and saying, Cornelius, I think the bedroom would probably be the best place to check that sort of thing out. And I'm gonna just point him there.
Colin. barely get in the door and you're already shooing me towards a bedroom.
I'm gonna stay in the kitchen. Actually, I'm looking for some food.
So Boser, when you roll investigation, you get +1 from that juice. You'll get your +1 for eye for detail. So
Nice.
You roll your 2d6 +2.
Okay. 8.
So with an 8. All right, so I'm still gonna read through the power or the roll so we all get a better grasp of everything. So when you use your abilities to seek answers on burning questions, roll plus power. On a hit, you get clues equal power. Spend clues 1 to ask a MC a question about the subject that you're investigating, or ask another player a relevant question about their character. They must give you a straight answer either way, or a solid lead. So on a 7 to 9, you get to choose one. Your investigation exposes you to a danger. The clues you get are fuzzy, incomplete, or part true, part false. Whoever or whatever you are asking the questions can ask you one question as well. You answer on the same terms.
I want the picture to ask me a question. That'd be really cool, though. I guess the clues... You know what? I'm kind of curious. I want to do the investigation exposes me to danger.
Okay.
Just because I want to see what you do.
Yeah, no. So it's not going to be in the same realm of what you think.
Picture frame's not gonna try and cut him. Paper cut.
Damn it.
I would say you would recognize that at this moment you have no sense of being in danger, but that is not helpful to you. So I would say with this investigation, as you are looking around, you can't really sense that there was really ever any danger in this household. As destroyed and messed up as it is, at no point do you get the vibe or the energy or the mist showing you that something bad happened here.
I don't get the energy that something bad happened here.
Correct.
Did we
And
ever
while I'm
find
looking, while I'm looking for pictures, do I see any?
Yeah,
That's what my original investigation was.
No, you absolutely find pictures. You see a lot of pictures, actually. You see Samit has a lot of people with dozens of different individuals, different race, different sex, different ages. You see him outside of a all-glass building, just out to the front. He is in a white coat, and he is just taking different pictures with various individuals. But he is wearing the same white coat in every photo.
White coat, like a lab. Looks like a lab coat.
Yeah.
And is there anything? A lot of times, lab coats they either got like a badge or they got some sort of insignia. Does he have anything on that?
You can see that there is writing on the lab coat, but the distance the photo was taken, you can't actually read out what it says.
Okay. Do I recognize that building? The all glass one?
Dell is well aware of Pandora, right? Like, he's pretty traveled throughout the city.
Yeah, over the last 5 or 8 years, I can't remember what we decided. Yeah, I've gotten pretty well versed on it.
Yeah,
with
you
the
would
Foundry.
recognize that as Pandora's hospital.
Hey, y'all, come on in here. I swear, it's not a trick, Colin.
I swear if
I
your
don't
pants
trust
are
him.
off.
Listen, I only got the one hand. It takes me a minute, you know.
No,
There's
I'm
a lot I
calling.
can do with that one
I'm
hand.
calling bullshit to that. At this point in time, Dell has had one hand for 8 years. He absolutely knows how to get his pants off with one hand.
Clearly, I'm lying.
I have no doubt in my mind that he's got like rip away jeans,
Fuck
just like
yes.
a tears away at the crotch.
Oh yeah.
Because that's the only important part. You know the pajamas where you can show, like, reveal the butt? It's like that, but it's crotch.
Just in the front. Yep.
Oh boy, do I!
Andres will walk over to the doorway, but like have their notepad like up. Okay.
Y'all, like, it basically thought this was a murder scene. You know, that's not quite one of my kinks. We're safe, right?
Not
God.
quite.
So, a couple things. One, any of y'all get a feeling like clearly it looks like something bad happened, but I'm not getting the feeling that anything bad really happened.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It's almost like this was staged, or Samit did this himself. I mean, we saw he was attacked at the park, and either he was attacked twice, or there's some bullshit here.
You think this is a shot in the dark, but do you think that these people could have been attacked by? Would we use the same verbiage or terminology, like the same vocabulary that we use as players to address aspects of the mist?
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Okay.
Absolutely.
Do you think that these people could have been attacked by a mythos itself?
Oh, I thought that was clear from the
No,
get-go.
not someone affected by a mythos, but by a mythos trying to find a new
Rift.
Host?
In this case, host might be the best term.
Is that possible?
I don't know.
Well,
Detective?
it's a little uncommon. Most of the time, they're already rooted in somebody, and it slowly began corrupting them. But
But what if it's not rooted in someone?
from
and it's
time to time, some of these powers are able to cut holes in the mist and make their way through. So I mean, it's not unheard of.
Shit, so you're saying there could be some powerful super mega god just walking the street in his purest form, searching for somebody to fucking climb into?
I mean, not all of us were willing targets when we were touched by the mist. I think it's more likely that none of us exactly chose this for ourselves. So,
Shit, I didn't even know anything was going on until about a year ago. Read the backstory or something.
I did.
That's when, yeah, about a year ago I woke. Until then,
I was thinking our original story. But just minor timeout. To clarify mechanically what these guys are referring to right now, there are stages to being affected by the mist. If you have no interaction with the mist, you are considered a sleeper. And then there are various degrees of being touched by the mist, which is just a mechanical aspect of how much of your life is mythos and how much of your life is logos, which is just reality. The polar opposite of a mythos is an avatar, and that is when the host would completely forego any sense of reality to dive 100% into the mythos itself, making them an avatar.
You mean the opposite of a sleeper is an avatar?
What did I say?
Mythos.
Oh,
The opposite
yeah,
of a
sorry.
mythos is an avatar, but the opposite of a sleeper, someone with no mythos,
Oh, yeah,
is an
sorry,
avatar,
thank you.
someone with no logos.
sleeper,
Yes,
So-
thank you.
avatar.
Yeah, sleeper is someone with no connection to the mist, and avatar is someone with no tie to reality anymore.
Correct.
So,
what
But-
you guys are thinking is this was either an avatar trying to sleep a little, or I think what's more likely is our friend here knew another rift, and they attacked here looking for something. They worked at a hospital. Any number of things could have happened. I don't know if we need to jump straight to
no.
the mist or anything being odd in this case, but I do
What,
not want to
What I
rule
thought-
anything out.
what I thought y'all were describing was a mythos unattached to a host at all. Not an avatar, not a nothing, just a
Like a virus.
pure. Yeah, like a ghost of a mythos just fucking being out here destroying shit. Is that
Based
that's
on the
romantic.
MC's
Is that
face, I think
possible?
we're pissing in the wind. We're doing something bad.
That is what I'm saying, Del. I don't know. There's not enough evidence to say what's going on yet. I just didn't even know if that was a possibility.
And I do apologize. I should have mentioned this earlier. There are very trace amounts of mist in the apartment.
Okay.
Not a lot, trace amount. So you can tell outside of you guys, a mythos had been here. It's just not a lot of it.
Here's a question: how do we tell if the corpses were rifts, if they were touched by the mist? Is there like a, not that I know that this is obviously like the murderer was clearly like touched by the mist, but do we know if any of the victims were?
So that would be something you guys would have to actually go see the bodies to determine.
Okay.
Or, hey, Cooper, do you guys know if any of the victims were touched?
I myself haven't gone to see the bodies. Unfortunately, I got called in on this, obviously, because of the attacker. I haven't been here either. Not necessarily stalled out on the case, just brand new on the case. So we're gonna have to work through this together. So, look, I can't sit there and take you guys to the morgue. I can go back to the morgue. One of you could come, I guess.
Pass.
But
We're here now. We can gather whatever information we can from the apartments, and then tonight when we split ways to do our own investigations or collaborate our own notes, maybe you can team up with someone, go back to the morgue, and look over the bodies then. And
I agree in a certain extent.
or at least just gather what information the coroners have been
Yeah,
able to.
I'll get the reports. Don't worry about that. We'll get that later on. Just now, I can't just leave you guys in these apartments. I'm kind of in you know,
The babysitter.
you know how the city can be. This is kind of an uppity place. They don't really like new people, especially since, you know, Dell over here is trying to sweet talk the doorman. They're just
I'm sorry, that's my native tongue, buddy.
Is there any sign of a forced entry? Like, either evidence of
question.
a lock picked or broken?
Let's get that investigation roll.
Alright, I would like to use my... my information gathering tag from the neon pillars, as well as my eye for detail from my training.
+2.
That's right, Del. We both have eye for detail.
Oh, good.
But I'm gonna give a little peek behind the curtain. My eye for detail is part of my combat training.
Oh.
You guys are more or less two sides of the same coin.
We are, which is one reason I took the no tech allowed weakness, just to guarantee that we're not making the same shit.
Yeah. Total of 8.
8? Okay.
Yep.
Alright, so on a hit, you get clues equal power. Spend your clues 1-to-1 to ask for a MC a question about the subject of your investigation or another player. To reveal anything about that character, they must give you a straight answer or solid lead. On a 7-to-9, they can also choose one. Investigation exposes you to a danger. The clues you get are fuzzy, incomplete, part true, part false, or whoever or whatever you're asking the questions can ask you one question as well. You answer on the same terms.
So I think you choose one of those 3 options, since I'm asking you the question of, is there any sign of a forced entry? So of those... Unless you want me to choose one of those
I don't
three.
believe so, because it is specifically stated they can choose one.
Yeah, when you use your abilities to seek answers, on a hit you get clues equal to power to ask the MC a question about the subject or another player. They must give you either a straight answer, or on a 7 and 9 they can also choose one. So with that, I'm thinking
Yeah, it's
they
referring to
is
they as in the MC or
Okay,
that player.
that's
Target.
valid. That's
Or their
valid.
character.
Follow-up question to investigate. How much power did you use on this?
2.
So you have 2 questions you can ask?
You get 2 clues.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I still
Clues
get the
equal to
2
power.
clues, but you get to choose one of those 3 that happen
Right.
to me as I'm trying to figure out.
Yep. Okay.
So
What
like,
if you didn't? What if you didn't use any power? Do you not? What if
Then-
you just rolled?
you don't get any deeper information
Yeah.
that
Oh,
carry that transgresses
Surface level.
the story. Yeah.
Cool.
it's this is basically a thing of like, to investigate you need to have some sort of training or reason why you would be able to. Whereas like something like go toe to toe, actually no, that one is also roll plus. Oh yeah, go toe to toe. It doesn't have anything that says like you get this based on the amount of power you added. You get to roll plus power, which just means someone with a background that would match would be better at it, but someone without a background that could aid them would still possibly get something.
Okay.
But yeah, so again, I'm looking for. I want to know if there is a. I mean, I guess the 2 questions. Does the door seem broken into?
Okay.
And do the windows seem broken into? 'Cause
Okay.
unless there's another obvious entry point.
No, it would just be those 2.
Okay.
Okay. And so I'm going to answer this as you exiting the room, checking the windows, exiting the room, checking the living room windows, and then making your way to the door to answer these 2 questions.
Sure. Yeah.
So, Andresh, as you you kind of look through the windows in the bedroom, and the living room, and you see no clear signs of forced entry. You do see hand marks on the window, kind of smudged out, but you don't see any damage around the window, around the seals. Nothing has been pried open. And as you make your way to the front door, as you are looking at the hinges, you do see that the paint around the hinges has been not broken, but definitely cracked. Like there was some physicalness used on the door that caused the hinge paint to begin to crack and flake off. And then as you flip around to the other side of the door to check the deadbolt, you do see a good number of scratches around the deadbolt lock, almost like somebody was trying to get the key in but was having a very hard time doing it.
Okay. Okay. Paint on hinges of door. Cracked. And scratches around the keyhole for the dead.
The actual
lock.
keyhole,
Okay.
yep.
Scratches around. So it doesn't necessarily look like a forced entry, but maybe a...
Someone definitely got in, but they struggled in the
Struggled.
process of doing
Yeah.
it.
Is there alcohol in the cabinets?
I've got...
Do you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I've got no solid... I don't have anything concrete to say one way or the other, but it seems like Samit, or at least someone who had access to the apartment, had a key, was the person who got in and did this. I'm wondering if Samit was under some sort of effects, which matches up with the idea of maybe Samit was starting to awake and wasn't sure how to deal with that, or wasn't thinking straight during that time and having trouble. I mean, look here. These hairline scratches around the lock. It shows that someone was having a hard time getting the key into the lock. Samit could have just been drunk, or inebriated, or under the effect of some drug. But given this, it seems like he may have been losing control already. Because on the other side of the door here, and Andresh walks inside, like closes the door with them on the inside and points at the hinges there, like, because with this, it shows that the door may have been pushed open a little harder than necessary. So the mental image I'm getting is whoever was opening this door slumped against it, struggled to get the key in the lock, finally got it unlocked, and pushed the door open, stumbling in, closing it behind them.
It's almost like he was maybe transforming
Maybe.
in that moment, going full werewolf.
That's why...
So if Samit did it, why do we have his body at the morgue?
That's the thing. Maybe this mythos is hard to control, and maybe some physical embodiment of the mythos ended up not matching well with Samit as its... What's the term? It's not host.
Rift.
Rift, okay, thank you. Maybe something about the mythos didn't match up with the rift, and there was a lashback, or perhaps this animal of Edith Park is hunting down new rifts.
Or maybe he's not the only one and there's some sort of hierarchy thing. There's got to be the alpha male. Well,
So-
not male, but alpha.
We need to check the other apartments, see how they match up with what Samit was going through, and then later, Detective, you'll be able to get those reports from the morgue and see whether these people were all rifts, whether their mythoses matched up, or what similarities there were between our three victims and their connection to the mist.
Yeah, y'all ever hear of the same kind of mythos attaching itself to the multiple rifts?
I think about it as like praying to the old gods, well, I guess technically it kind of is. Like, you can have multiple followers of one mythos.
I belong to a group of rifts.
Never mind, I'm telling you.
That have a similar mythos, but not an identical one.
Yeah, mechanically speaking, lore of the game, you can only have one mythos per rift. In
Unless-
Alex's example here, he has a commune of individuals, but they all identify as different mythos themselves.
However, what happens if the rift dies? That mythos is going to try and find another rift to tell its story.
That does work, though.
That
All of these
happens.
people were weeks apart.
I can confirm that
Black
has
clockwork.
happened. One of my associates died in a unpleasant way.
What was the
About
time between
4 years
these
in the stay. It was days, right?
2 weeks.
2 weeks? So not long enough.
Every
for,
2 weeks.
Not long enough for a full moon cycle, but about half of a moon cycle. So, just going with the werewolf iconography, maybe we shouldn't be too hung up on that, but every 2 weeks. So it could be a mythos trying to make its way through. I'm getting an idea, but we should find more information before jumping to
Yeah, I'm
conclusions.
curious to see what the other apartments look like.
Exactly.
Are we done here then?
Unless you think there's more information we can gather from here.
You guys good? Yeah.
I just want to see, is there
Yeah.
any amount of alcohol or narcotics or anything hiding here?
Yeah, go ahead and give me another investigation.
Okay.
Alcohol, I would say that's not what you're rolling for. It's the narcotics that you're rolling against, because Samit does have an open bar,
Okay.
and that one you can just blatantly tell just the bottles are empty.
I've
Andresh will just Andros wants to look in the pantry, see
Okay.
what kind of snacks are in there.
And that again, that one's another surface level, so that one is not going to be something you roll against.
Yeah.
The pantry is destroyed. Food has been eaten, and you can tell it was in such a way. Food is all over the kitchen. Food was getting digested very, very quickly, and the same thing with the refrigerator. The refrigerator is disgusting because things were getting torn open, but food was being eaten.
Is there anything not destroyed?
No.
Nothing?
The garlic.
Okay, I see what you're going towards. But, if you
No,
want,
I'm just like literally in the pantry. Is there like?
Oh,
Are there
no.
like? Is there like a half-broken chips at the bottom of the bag still?
I mean, cans are more dented than anything. There are a couple of them that you can tell were bit open.
MC, I'm looking for a snack here.
Oh yeah, sure. There's a box of Pop-Tarts and
Perfect.
that
All right, I
corner.
grab that and then walk over to
They're
Connor.
wild berry,
Colin. I got a 7.
Colin, right. Fuck.
So with your 7, did you roll plus power?
Yeah, I only got 1.
Okay,
adding
so
to
that
this
gives you
thing.
1 clue. And
I'm running out of
okay,
power that I can add to stuff for the scene.
Fair enough. So what is your question? Oh, narcotics.
Yeah, I was looking for any like medicinal thing that looks like it maybe shouldn't be here, or like a narcotic. Since you worked in a hospital, I think that it would stand to reason that either there's something, or like even nothing would be a good clue. Like if there wasn't anything, I'd
absolutely.
be like, yeah, okay.
So
pills off the top.
yeah, as you go into the bathroom, you actually pop open the mirror cabinet, and you do see that. Let's back that up a little bit. There are a trail of pill bottles leading to the bathroom coming out of the glass mirror. And as you are reading the pill bottles, they are definitely all opioid based. But as you open up the door, you see rows and rows of different medications. Do any of you have a medical background of any sort?
Wouldn't know.
So you guys obviously could understand things like hydrocodone and oxys, but there are still rows and rows of other medications that are virtually untouched.
So this guy probably shouldn't have all this. Just a suspicion. Just a hunch. That some
He's
of
got a
this-
little pharmacy in his.
He's gotten more than I think is normal, but some of it is.
So you see
untouched.
different brands, different companies, and none of them are like full prescriptions. You could logically tell these are all sample sizes.
I want to snag a few.
Sure, absolutely.
I just grabbed like a handful, and
Okay.
I think I don't do it publicly.
Okay, go ahead and roll. We're gonna do a sneak around.
Okay. I'm gonna set my canister down near the door, and I'm gonna use that as my plus power, and I'm gonna kind of like whisper something into it, which is me. I'm gonna message you privately because I don't know if I
Okay.
can say this out loud.
Hit me with it.
We'll all just cover our ears.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna whisper that into there, and then I'm gonna roll +1,
Okay.
which puts me. Thank God I added 1, because that puts me from a 6 to a 7. So
Okay. So, when you use the abilities to act secretly or deceptively, roll plus power. On a hit, everyone that should fall for it falls for it. On a 7 to 9, it's complicated. I will choose someone unimportant notice you, but that just made them important, right? You were previously only perceived by a secondary sense. Someone picks up your scent while you're stalking them. You've seen whispering a message. You must leave something important behind or be discovered. And I am going to say nothing out loud to you.
okay. I'm gonna pick back up the tube and leave the bathroom. I'm gonna say, yeah, there's a lot of random prescriptions in here that probably aren't the minimum or the normal, the standard. They look like sample sizes, so this guy was on something.
Huh. So it's not like he was, like sickly?
I had no idea, but there's way too much for one guy to be this sick, especially if he's out on a run on a.
And then just to remind you guys are aware that he is a pharmacist.
That doesn't mean you get to
yeah.
take samples home.
I was just-
Oxycontin. Oh, okay, I thought that's what you were saying. I was
Then
like,
why
No,
be
just
a
kind of
pharmacist?
helping you have
That's
a better
true.
idea of like who the character is. Like he is a pharmacist, so like I'm
forgot.
not setting
Yeah,
up like an opioid addict or anything like that. Just helping formulate the audience. to
None of them
understand.
are. There's not a lot of repeat bottles. A lot of them are different. So it seems like he was mixing his own cocktails, trying to do something.
Possibly, but like, you gotta. These are samples, so obviously they're mundane at best.
Okay, yeah,
I mean,
Oxycontin, pretty mundane. Sure thing, Cooper.
Or he was doing some business on the side.
I mean, it wouldn't be unheard of. I can't imagine how much rent is here. Regardless, I'll get the toxicology report when I go visit the bodies.
Colin.
Uh huh.
Andresh pulls the box of Pop-Tarts out of their vest.
Colin like gulps a little. Is this allowed?
I won't
Yeah.
tell if you won't.
Okay, I'm gonna grab one and just sort of nod and just shove it into my my Technicolor coat pocket, just like.
The question is, do I make you sneak around for? I'm just playing. Sneak around for this.
I mean, I'll do a roll because I'm trying to hide it from the
Okay, then yeah,
detective.
hit us with the sneak around.
I don't want him to see. And for the sneak around,
Roll plus
I'll
power.
I'll use anonymity from the broker personality,
Okay.
and I'll use eye for detail for this one as well, and
Yeah, because that's a different move set. So yeah, that's
Yep.
fine. So +2.
Oh, can I add my looking over my shoulder from the broker as well to get +3?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely.
I really don't want the detective to see this, and if he does, I really want it to be worth it.
Well,
Ooh,
Can you-
that's a total of 11.
can you use eye for detail again? I thought we could only use these.
Yeah,
four is
because
a
it's
different-
a different move.
power.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
okay.
cannot use the same power tag repeating a move you tried doing.
Okay,
So if I
wasn't
sneak
sure if
around
it was-
again,
I wasn't sure if it was one per scene or if it was.
I thought it was once per scene.
no. So if I used sneak around again, I couldn't use any of those power tags
Correct.
Okay. That makes
until
more
the
sense.
next scene. But yeah, so
Oh,
it's once
yeah.
per
Per
scene.
Player
per
moves.
player
Yeah.
move. Yeah.
Got it.
So tags can be invoked again in subsequent actions, except for repeating moves. You cannot repeat an action using the same tag until the conditions have changed.
And so generally that's a scene, but sometimes like if we're doing a chase scene, the MC could allow, oh, could I use my acrobatic tag to leap across this thing? Like, sure, all right. And then like, okay, now you need to climb down. Could I use my acrobatics tag to like after a fight with them, like go toe to toe with the person chasing me real quick to try and get around, juke around some rooftop like clotheslines, and then okay, I want to go down this fire escape. Could I use my acrobatics again? Because the scene has changed enough. The MC may be like, yeah, I could see that working here again. Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are genuine like gods, like walking amongst man. So there's caps on your power because you are still a living vessel. You're still a rift, and so it's scene based. So like you guys are investigating an apartment right now. That's this scene. You guys are about to go to another apartment. That's another scene. It's regardless of the fact you want to walk 5 minutes from one apartment to the next because it's canonically a different scene. You guys are super powered individuals. I'm not going to sit here and limit you on in things like that because you just did it 5 minutes ago. But
Yeah.
again, in like a chase sequence, If it's still the same scene and you're doing the same thing, that's where you're limited. If you're going from fighting on a rooftop to fighting on a car top, that's a different scene, a different scenario that you're empowered against.
Then what is it to burn a tag? Because we've got that little check mark next to.
It's if you do
each
something
tag.
that like eliminates the power from the like if it's a physical item maybe, or if it's a
Well, so I thought when you burned a tag, it was done for that
there's
scene, right?
there's
Yeah.
generally rules for like something will tell you that you have to burn it, but
Nope, I've got
sometimes you
that
can
right here for you.
sometimes you
So-
can voluntarily burn it to gain a boost for an action.
Yeah, so it's called burning for a hit. You can voluntarily burn a tag when you make a move. You gain a power of 3 instead of rolling the dice. Instead, treat the roll as a 7. Modified score, making it a 10. No other tags can be invoked in this roll, but statuses apply normally. So with that being said, if you burn a tag, you do not get that tag itself back for any scene until we do a montage sequence, where that's your downtime, where you get
Basically a
that
rest.
ability.
Got it.
Yep.
That is your nat 20 or double six, well, 7 plus 3, 10. That is your auto hit, but you are eliminating your ability to use that tag in general again that whole session.
So you want to save that kind of thing for when it like really.
That's
fucking
do or
matters.
die moments, yes.
So
Okay.
for this one though, I ended up rolling a total of 11. So
Yep. No,
It
yeah.
just-
Exactly as you describe it.
yeah, it's as as the detective is like talking to us and turns away like, yeah, we should go see the next apartments. I wait for Detective Cooper to turn around and like reach into my vest, and he looks over his shoulder. I pull my hand out of my vest.
Is Jeff Sitz losing anybody else? Is anybody else losing Jeff Sitz, or is it just me?
Yeah, you gotta
No, I just lost you a hot second.
Uh-oh.
And you're frozen.
Discord being
That's not
Discord.
good.
Womp womp. No, we're good.
But now
Womp
you're
womp.
back.
We're good.
We're all good?
We're good.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
good.
like
Little hiccup.
say I say like, yeah, we should move on to the next apartment, and Detective Cooper like goes to lead us to the next one. Andras reaches into their vest. Detective Cooper looks over his shoulder. Andras quickly pulls their hand out of their vest and like looks. Waits for Detective Cooper to walk around the corner and then pulls it out and like, Colin,
Yeah.
here.
Thank you.
All of that discussion for a fucking Pop-Tart.
Yes.
Correct.
Well, now I've got a box of Pop-Tarts, so
box of Pop-Tarts and some rules.
Sounds like a new power tag to me.
Yeah.
Was there anything else you guys wanted to do in this apartment?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I just jack off in his bed real quick and then we go. I'm just
All
kidding.
right. Are you doing that secretly, or are you taking?
No,
the
I'm
risk?
not
No.
doing it. I have morals, people. I'm not a sexual fiend all of the time.
You kind of
Like, I'm afraid that I'm role playing the sex stuff too much, and that's just all he is. He's so much more. He just also likes to
He's
have
not.
sex.
He's not. He's not much more.
He's just a
Not-
fuckboy.
He's mainly that.
No, he's so much more.
All right.
Sex work is
So
work.
I apologize. I asked this every session because I can't remember. If we canonically stated there's been 2 murders or 3 murders?
3.
3.
3, and you guys are preventing the 4th. Okay, thank you.
And we have 3
Ideally.
days.
I can't do that anymore. Oh my god.
All right, so as you guys leave Samit's home, you guys actually head up to the 8th floor, heading to
8th
Tony
floor.
Aylin's apartment.
Tony Aylin.
Tony. That's a weird name for a girl.
With an I.
Yes, with an I.
What room number?
8314.
Whoa. This numbering of these apartments is now out of sync. We are on the 48th floor, and their number was
Oh, I thought it was
4847.
the 4th floor. All right, so we're on the 80th floor.
Okay. Of all the things, this better be fucking accurate. Do your goddamn homework, MC, okay?
All right.
Just kidding. I love you.
Detective, do Do you have any background information about Tony as of this point?
Other than the fact that Tony has no face. No, not really.
And she's a tech lead. She drives an SUV.
Yeah.
Tony was also killed in Edith Park. Yes, Tony is missing her face.
No face Tony. That's what our old friends called her. Well, that's what they call her now.
But her face.
That would be a weird nickname to give someone.
Right. Let's discuss this inside.
You know how nicknames are.
No, I'll
They don't always make
open the
sense.
door and walk us.
Okay.
Shoo the children.
Are there any
Yeah.
similar look on the outside of this door that's with the other one too?
Go ahead, roll investigate.
Could I? Is this something where I want to help?
Yep. So you're gonna go ahead and change the game.
Okay.
I'm not gonna use my power tag on this one. I want to save it for inside. That's a straight 8.
I think you have to use a power tag for
I
investigate.
have to?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't
In
get
order
any
to get
clue.
clues.
Use at least one.
Well, that was my question before. Do I not get any? You said it's just
Surface
not
level
as
stuff?
in depth.
Yeah, for investigate.
Yeah, so you would just get surface level. You wouldn't get anything deeper.
Well, I'm gonna save my deeper for inside.
Well, in that
Okay.
case,
Like,
I will roll to investigate here.
okay.
And if you want to do the change the game thing, and I'll do my eye for detail, and then I'll use my intel gathering from the Neon Pillars turf card to try and connect anything here to the previous one.
Okay.
Specifically think like the eye for detail to see what's here, and then the intel gathering and organization to see if what kind of similarities or differences there are.
Could I use to do the change the game? Can I use fix what is broken in the way that, since I'm really good at fixing things, I could tell if anything was like kind of damaged here?
Yeah, I'd allow it.
Okay. Since I have to do a power. Okay, that's a 9 plus 1 power is 10.
Nice.
Yep. So that 1 juice is generated.
2 juice is automatically
juice, baby.
generated on a 10 or more.
Yep. So that's 3 juice in total.
Dope.
But again, this juice is only generated for the investigation of this door.
Right.
Of this door or investigation in general that
Or
I
the
could use
scene,
later?
yeah.
For this
In the
scene, essentially. Anything related to what you to the damage done to
Yeah.
something.
Okay, I'm gonna call it looking for damage.
And so, here, like, you figure out what you want to do with that. Do you have the player moves sheet up?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just look through the change the game, because specifically those, the last 4 bullet points are the things that you can use now that normally you aren't able to.
I'm gonna scale up the effect so that you can really see.
Nice. And I think you
And
get.
I don't burn juice for that. That's just
No, you
what
get
I
to
get
choose
for this roll.
Yeah, so you get your juice, and you can choose your juice to scale up the effort or the effect
dope.
greater area or more targets.
You get 3 juice, and you can pick any of those 7 bullet points
Yep.
to activate.
At
one
any
for
time.
one. Using
Yeah,
your
so
juice.
basically you're scaling
Okay.
up the effect greater area or more targets. That changed the game, just impacted this whole scene.
Yeah. Right.
Sweet.
So that's gonna be for me. I used 2 power, so that's
Yes.
a 10 as well. 6 plus
Nice.
2 plus 2.
All right, so that gives you 2 clues.
2 clues, and he said he's scaling up the effect to include a greater area. So can I kind of do the same thing that I did before, like focus on the door at first, but then
Yeah.
move into the apartment and see
No, yeah.
if there's any
Absolutely.
other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
So yeah, this one is nothing like the last.
Okay.
You're not seeing any scratch marks. You're not seeing any indentations into the door. As you open the door into the apartment, it is trashed once again. But in your immediate looking around, you're not seeing claw marks. You check the backside of the door. You don't see any paint chipping. Along the walls, you do see a little bit of the drywall cracked as if somebody fell into it.
Okay.
And I'm assuming you're going to kind of go ahead and check the windows again in this whole search around. Yep. No forced entry through the windows either.
No forced entry, but the drywall on the back wall is cracked?
Yes. And you guys were specifically only looking for damages, correct?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, damages or any signs of entry.
Right.
Like, if we don't see anything like a handprint on the outside of the window.
Yeah. Nope. You're good there.
Then that's as far as this investigation is bringing us.
So as you guys look into this apartment, this one is still trashed, but it's not destroyed like the previous apartment was, which doesn't seem fitting because you guys know she is a tech lead. Through your, I'm gonna say Cooper would have filled you guys in on this one. She's a valley girl, very into designer clothing. Her house is much more. You can tell she is much more interested in the material things than Samit was. She has a loft apartment, so she's got a small little stairway that goes up towards what would be her bedroom, but still just an open airway. Open layered or revealed brick on the walls. Much more of your cliche Valley Girl apartment lifestyle.
Okay.
But everything is designer, everything is name brand.
So looking around the apartment, you said that we see there's not like damage to the actual apartment itself, like the scratches on the floor or stuff like that, but it just seems like the place has been turned over more than anything, like objects have been pulled.
More lived in by shitty college individuals that don't care about what happens to the Airbnb when they leave.
Gotcha. So it's okay.
Oh, so just like untidy.
Just disorganized living rather than rather than it looking like someone deliberately
yes
pulled stuff out and threw it around.
Organized chaos.
Looking for something. Yeah.
Organized chaos.
Okay.
Well, there goes that lead. At least on the surface.
Maybe, but
I was hoping they were all just transforming into werewolves or something. Sound easy.
It rarely is that easy, unfortunately.
it's still something to keep in mind because there's something that tied all three of these victims together, and we have no idea what Tony's connection to the mist was, whether she was a rift or still a sleeper.
Do we sense mist energy in this room?
Yep. This one is, there's going to be a little more mist than the previous apartment. Meaning, obviously, that would make more sense because she was the second victim. But you're still not getting a rift lived here vibe. Yeah, that makes sense.
So
your guys' homes would be filled with mist because you guys are rifts.
And there would be items, like there would be items in our homes that would be affected by the mist.
Yeah.
Whereas here, there's nothing like that.
You can tell this is a sleeper's home.
Okay.
So it almost feels like a mist has been here, but doesn't live here.
Exactly. Same as the last place. So, I think what it may come down to is figuring out whether these people were newly awoken and hunted down for that.
Or they are each a piece of a puzzle. Or these are random crimes. There's so much. There's so much.
You don't think this thing, whatever it is, attacks, takes their house keys, and then comes on in their place looking for something?
I mean, a lot of criminals, just even in the sleeper world, I mean, if you're gonna kill somebody, you might as well get their stuff too.
But they would have had to get past Daryl, and Daryl's not gonna let them in if they don't live here.
That's
Colin.
kind of what I was wondering. It doesn't seem like we're dealing with somebody who doesn't stay here. I think the unifying factor is that they all live in the Echelon High Rise, including the murderer.
Now that is a good
Dun.
that is a good possibility, but then again, Colin, you did get in here too.
I have a way with people.
And you're special.
Anyways,
What about this dent in the wall?
I do apologize. I gotta pee real fucking bad.
Well, how about we take a quick 5-minute break for us, and for those of you watching, it'll be like 5 seconds, and you get to see that fantastic technical difficulty screen that Boser
Scene
did.
swipe.
yeah.
Time travel.
We'll be back in a second.
Stand up and put a thing in my mouth.
All right, so you guys are in Tony's apartment. We've established that it's disarrayed. And what little you guys know about Tony from her...
Sorry, Lucas, what the fuck?
I just was not going to acknowledge it. Just
We
Just
counted
you
in,
encourage
Lucas
him.
is just like...
Yeah, if you
Just
ignore him,
don't
he
pay
stops
attention,
doing that. It's
guys.
like a toddler. If you don't pay attention to what they're doing, they eventually stop.
But I like
a
Lucas
toddler
too
or a
much to
Boser.
ignore him.
All right,
yeah,
guys,
we're
I
in
got a
Tony's
theory.
apartment.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, you're in Tony's apartment. From what you know from her case, she's a Valley girl, tech girl. So this apartment doesn't make sense for what you do know of her. You have been established that she was killed in Edith Park, and the only information you know about the body is that she is missing her face. But Jeff, since I believe you were asking a question about damage to drywall.
Oh yeah, I was pointing it out because Dell and I noticed it in our look around the apartment.
Well, that's very astute of you. Any ideas?
It looks about the size and shape of a body being slammed against the wall, but other than that,
But there's no other sign of forced entry or damage to the apartment.
no. Real quick, while we're having this conversation, I'd like to go back to the front door and take a peek out to see if anyone is following us.
Okay.
I don't know, would that be another investigate?
No,
roll?
I just thought you were going to say something else. No, as you poke your head out the door and you look down both sides of the hallway is empty.
Okay. Thinking back, has there been any kind of like... I'll even do change the game roll for this if that's... Or... I don't know what kind of roll this would be, but I'll even do a roll if you want me to just think back and see, have we noticed anyone following us around the apartment complex after we've come to the realization, oh, the killer probably lives here in the Echelon High
No,
Rise?
I wouldn't say that requires a roll,
Okay.
especially from you because you're going to be that counter-vigilance individual to begin with. Mm-hmm. So you're always looking over your shoulder as is. No, nobody has been following you up to this point.
Okay.
Well, I find it interesting that with the murders, it went from more savage to less. Like Samit was torn to hell, and Tony lost her face, scratched up, but not quite as bad. And Hemming had the least, or the more, I mean, still they died, but it was more, what's the word I'm looking for?
Artistic.
Artistic, right.
I don't.
And Samit's apartment was torn to hell. This one's less. It's almost like this thing is getting refined.
Oh yeah, it's probably a mythos coming to grips with itself and learning to control.
I'm wondering if it's almost like this mythos is jumping ship, taking on a new rift, and killing the old one. Do you think that's possible?
What do you guys remember from your first few days as a Rift?
A lot of headaches.
A lot of
sleepless nights, at least for me.
Wandering around, blind, confused.
You guys can't hear the Hydra music, but that change was perfect for Jeff Sitz.
Sorry.
just a lot of dead voices.
It's overwhelming for everybody.
In different ways, right?
None of our symptoms were exactly the same.
Right. Different people have different ways of dealing with trauma, and I think that's possibly the only, no, not the only, but the strongest through line of waking up in the mist is it's traumatic. It throws your entire world upside down. Everything you thought you knew is no longer the truth.
The people that you trusted no longer trust you. The people that you've always seen are suddenly changed against your will. There's a lot that could be going on with this victim, and it's important to consider that they still may not know that they're doing this.
I like the idea, but we also have to look at it as if this is a person targeting people. What can we see? Let's try and find some things in common other than where they live. And I'm gonna actually go look for pills in their bathroom as well.
Okay. That's going to be an investigate roll.
Alright. Good old stone dice. And I'm gonna...
do you have any power you're adding to it?
I don't know. My whole thing is investigating, so I can, pick one of like 7. I'm just gonna straight up pick my detective tag for my logos.
Okay. So you're going to do 1 power?
Yep, just 1 power.
Alright, so that'll be +1 equaling 1 clue, so go ahead and get them here with that roll.
That'll be a 7.
Okay. Alrighty. So as you go into the bathroom where, most people keep their medications, on her top shelf, you do see a few different pill bottles. One's hydrocodone, one is a clear liquid, and the other one is a medication name that I don't fucking know. Moxopixeline.
Oh my god, guys, she's allergic to wood. She's taking moxopixeline. This is so, it all makes sense.
Case solved.
But no, you do see a few different medications. Nothing really that would jump out to you as a detective, though.
Okay.
Anything that matches the stuff that I saw in Samit's cabinet? I don't want to pry,
they're
but I
all
think I'm
on
kinda lurking.
SSRIs.
I don't know what that is either.
I'm
Look
glad
at
you're
you and your
all this
happy
great,
life.
Out here not understanding fucking mental struggle. Fucking dick.
SSRI.
It's just a Google episode for
Oh.
But I mean, hydros, you would recognize, but you got to think most higher up individuals tend to pop.
Cool.
Are they-
Who's the pharmacist that signed off on the bottle?
Are they prescribed to her, or are they? Like,
They are prescribed to
everything's
her.
prescribed to her. Okay.
Yep. And
Does
it
it
looks
say?
like a doctor's signature. So unless you have a viable way to read doctor handwriting,
Don't prescription bottles all have the doctor's name and then the signature underneath?
Printed?
Printed.
I don't know.
That's
I don't know.
been my experience. I have some in
Usually,
the
yes.
cabinet right now that have the doctor's name who assigned me my medicine.
I don't think any of our medication have our doctor's signature on it.
But the name would be printed.
At least like
On the label.
like at least the initials.
Hold, please.
Look, we're gonna find out.
I'm just saying this because when I had my stomach issues, mine has my doctor's name on it.
No, that's
Mine
a
have
great
usually-
idea.
Mine have usually had at least the initials of the doctor on it.
Yeah.
Or where it
This
was.
could be us barking up the wrong tree completely, but like initials
or
or
the
anything would
office.
be the office.
I don't feel
yeah.
like searching for it. Yes, there is a doctor's name. No, it's not Samit's.
Okay.
Just
what is it?
crossing off possibilities.
Yeah, what is the doctor's name?
need it.
Cantina13.com.
Oh, he's generating it. It's not important.
Nope, this is going into the web.
Kasana Erickson.
It's my therapist. No.
Can you spell that for me real quick?
Yep. Kassana
The ANA.
Erickson.
Ellie just texted me out of the blue. I have like 7 prescriptions right here, and they all have the doctor's name. Thank you, honey.
Thank you, Ellie, for keeping us true to life.
Okay. We could
She was a tech lead where?
at. Hold on. I got this.
I don't know if we did get this.
Oh no, I don't have this.
Yeah, we just know she's a tech lead. You didn't say where.
God, I hate when you guys ask questions.
Does the generator also give you that?
Nikron. Nikron.
And would we recognize that company?
Nikron is a computer-based company.
Alright, and so because of tech leady stuff, I'm gonna try and find like a tablet or a laptop. That's something that I can sit there
Good
and,
call.
and hopefully it's open. I doubt it, but
That wouldn't be confiscated already in evidence?
you never know. They might miss something.
True.
It's not like they're gonna.
I'm sorry.
It's not like they're gonna sit there and take your entire home. A lot of times when crimes happen, obviously she's found in the park, so all her personal belongings on herself were taken. Yes, but if she's a murder victim, they have no real reason to confiscate anything like that.
Okay.
Sorry, so what were you investigating, Lucas?
I'm gonna try and find a tablet or like a work computer or whatever.
Yeah, I would say that wouldn't be difficult to find.
Too bad it's all encrypted.
Correct.
She's a tech lead.
She's a tech individual. All of her computers and systems are locked.
Imagine that. Well, if only we do something that was tech savvy.
It ain't me. I'm old gears and bolts.
But do we know anybody?
Well, Del, I didn't expect you to be the one to
I
deal
can't-
with this.
I don't know if I'll be able to get into it here and now, but I can bring it to the broker, and they might be able to get into it.
Thank you. That is about what I was gonna suggest, because obviously the broker is one tech savvy person to just hide and do all their business via these drones and the dark web and who knows what. All that stuff's way above my. I don't know any of that.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to meeting this broker for some time since I've been hearing about it.
You won't. But it's okay.
Very few people end up meeting the broker. I actually haven't met them in person myself yet either.
What the hell? Well, how are we all supposed to work together if we can't even meet him? Meet
The broker is employed by whoever employed you.
Employ. We're getting paid for this shit.
The broker, I'm assuming,
Oh,
yes.
we're getting paid for this shit.
Yes. You
I
will
am,
get
at
a
least.
CI's paycheck.
I'm
Well,
getting
you
paid
will.
for this by the broker, at least.
The broker can
Does
pull
it
some
ever
of their
say-
own
does
weight
this-
then. Sorry.
What?
I was just gonna say the broker can pull some of their weight then and do a little bit of this. I know they sent you, but we need more if we're gonna solve this. There's people's lives at stake.
I'm just one of the tendrils the broker has. The broker is the neural network that organizes all of the information that is gathered, and if we need to reach out into somewhere else, the broker's probably going to be the best way to do that. Or, in this situation, if the broker can't, the broker will either be able to unlock this, what was it, a laptop, a tablet?
Yeah, we'll say a 2-in-1.
Okay. The broker would be able to either access this or know someone who could. They're going to be... If we need to find a particular kind of person, it's going to be through the broker.
All right.
Speaking of tech, don't people put up personal cameras in their places these days? So not exactly the least safe part of the city, but sometimes those are the people who are most paranoid. Should we look for cameras?
Maybe. With her being so tech savvy, she might have her own. Most of the people that live here just deal with the security that's in place always.
With them talking about that, Andresh will immediately start looking around and trying to find any hidden cameras. Using my looking over my shoulder power tag and my Raven Drone's power tag to see if I can, or to look in the spots that Andresh or the broker would put hidden cameras in this apartment.
I'm so sorry. My cat climbed inside of the window and is now licking the window from the outside in.
Yep.
Is your
sounds
cat a
about right.
marine? That's incredible.
I'm sorry. You said you're using your
Except
look
for
over the
fire
shoulders.
bears.
Fine.
Yeah, so
Any cameras that may be in Tony's apartment.
So you and I should go over this because I just renamed a couple of my tags to
Okay.
be a little bit more straightforward.
Sure.
So I want to go over that at the end of this session with you before we go our separate ways. But yeah, instead of paranoia for the power tag, I just called it looking over my shoulder.
Okay.
Because I already used my eye for detail and my the info organization for investigation. This time I want to use looking over my shoulder and Raven drones and just use the basically the algorithm that I've set up on where to set Raven drones and cameras.
Yeah.
Use that knowledge and the other one to try and look in the spots that would be the most likely for hidden cameras.
Sure. Yep. That's going to be an investigation. +2.
Total of rolled a 5, so a total of 7. So just barely managed to get
All right.
something.
So
of this.
clues equal power. So you get 2 clues.
Yep.
And since it's 7 to 9, it's a mixed success.
I'll say
Good
like
one.
I'm even pulling apart fire alarms and shit
Okay.
like that. So
Could
like
one of
actually
the-
poking around in electronics.
Could one of the clues be spent to just play back video in this case?
If we find a camera,
If
yes.
we find a camera, that is, yeah.
Yep.
So first clue, since I've got 2 clues, first clue will be, do I find any cameras?
Just to make this fun cinematically, we're going to say one of the Raven drones can be seen from one of the ceilings. It just kind of comes into view in the background and does like one of the little laser top-down views. And we're going to switch the scene to like into the viewpoint of the Raven drone, looking in like an infrared camera, so it sees the red outlines of you guys. And Andres, you also have the wrist.
Yeah.
So do you actively use that? Yeah. Just trying to set up the scene if you were like be looking through the eyes of the drone.
I couldn't. Fuck. If
No, I'm not going to limit you by saying how
Okay.
the communication gets you. I was just trying to set the scene was all.
Andres couldn't use the Raven drones because that would be a giveaway.
Oh, that's right.
So if you want to invoke a weakness tag to drop that to a 6 and say I don't get the information, I'm okay with that.
That would be valid. So yeah, we're going to have to retcon that a little bit. That's going to be
fine.
just a 6 then.
Then I get an attention to my neon pillars because my weakness tag is paranoia for that.
Yep.
So invoke that weakness tag and I get an attention to the neon pillars.
Yep.
Logos card. So
So I will say, as you look around, you don't find any hidden cameras, but you do see just one of the little dome cameras up in the middle of the ceiling.
Okay.
Well, how did we miss that? Right in front of your face.
Well, I mean, granted, it is 20-foot ceiling, so you have to crank up a little bit.
Well,
we could
What do you
always
think that connects to?
we could go down to that door guard, that doorman,
Daryl?
and see if he has.
I think that would be in their apartment. Cameras? That's personal. That's not going to be in a building security.
Daryl will have cameras for the lobbies and the hallways, maybe.
The hallway, so we could see who came into each of these apartments.
I'm willing to
how.
bet if we want to know what happened in this apartment, we got to get into that tablet.
Well, I can drop this off at the drop point for the broker to get to, and they can check it out. And that's something tonight. I can make sure that this is taken care of tonight while Detective, you get those reports from the morgue. So, more homework, I guess.
Lots of homework. Life's nothing but homework.
Does this apartment seem, not to like stereotype anybody, but a little different than you expected from a tech lead? It's messy, but like, look, she got real fancy clothes up in that closet. Some of these pictures, she's all dolled up. I guess, I don't know.
All pictures she would be dolled up in.
I don't know. It's living the life. Some people really like the way they look and appearances.
And tech nowadays is becoming more accessible. You get more and more. I mean, you get more and more people branching out from the Silicon Valley lifestyle throughout the entirety of the world.
Well, I guess call me old-fashioned.
I'll just call you old,
women
Del.
shouldn't be in tech.
I'll just call you old, Del.
Not that old-fashioned.
Remember, he's a switch.
Is there any more that we can gather from this apartment, this home? I don't know if any of you can get anything more from that dent in the wall.
I'm willing to
I
bet.
want to. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just willing to bet that camera's gonna tell us everything we know about what happened in here.
All right.
What about that cool little misty thing that you did back at the park?
Yeah, I'm still kind of feeling that as I'm finishing my coffee. But
Oh, I get it. You can't turn around that quick.
all right, don't.
Wish I could relate.
I'm also kind of saving that because obviously we have the camera here. I did it for some meat already. I don't know about
Sure.
Don't know about
We
you
got
guys.
the camera. We don't need that.
I don't know anything about this third one really.
Well, I guess on to the next room then.
I want to investigate the dent.
Okay.
I want to use one of my mythos tags. I'm gonna again, just because I think it would provide me some familiarity
Sure.
with the subject in question.
What was the tag?
I've messaged you, unless I messaged the wrong person.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry, thank you.
Secrets, whispers.
I want to keep it chill.
Whisper.
I just don't. I like keeping things close to the chest, and I think that's an extension of Colin. But I think my familiarity with that particular field.
Yeah, I'd allow it.
Okay. The other thing that I would roll is the same thing that I messaged you earlier to be like KSS.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
I rolled 7 plus 1, so just 8.
Yep. So that gives you one clue.
Yeah, I just want to know what caused this dent, and like, are there other affects?
How tall is everybody?
6'2", just like me.
5'10".
6'9", 400 pounds, 420 pounds, give or take.
Pure muscle, all of it.
Yoked out of his mind from prison.
Andros wouldn't be more than 6 foot, so
Okay.
probably like a tall 5 foot, like 5'10"
Okay.
ish,
Man.
if that tall, like right around there.
Is
Twins.
this gonna be real?
Honestly, like I will say, looking at Dell, the character model that you made for Dell. Oh, why am I guessing? I actually, hold on a second. I've got their actual height in Hero Forge.
Oh yeah, I guess we do. Don't we?
Whoa.
It's specifically set there, so let me try to pull that up real quick.
Oh,
But yeah, it's
oh,
like
how-
a tall 5 foot, I think.
We all sat there. We're like, yeah, we're all 5'10", basically, or high.
Yeah,
or taller.
Okay.
we're all 5'10".
So,
Perfect height.
Colin, you would recognize that the
perfect
dent
height.
is lower to the ground. It's not a full body dent. It looks like a side dent that somebody kind of like fell into. Would be slender frame, and based off it be like a shoulder impact, you would see it be about 5-ish feet off the ground.
So the shoulders
I'm-
of this person were like 5 feet off the ground, but that probably puts them at like. I got a big head, so I'm ballparking. That makes them 7 feet tall. No, I think so. They're probably like they're probably like 5'10",
Yeah.
5'8", somewhere in there. Okay.
Yeah.
I just
I've
just
seen,
try to
like-
move Andresh next to it, and I'm like, yeah, they're around
I-
5'10".
I misspoke. Andresh is a slight person. Like they are only 5'7".
Oh, okay. So if you're using Andresh, this indent Andresh would be a little too short to match up the indent.
All right.
Does that kind of track with how tall Tony looks in the photos compared to
Yes.
like other people? And okay.
Yep.
So something pushed her into the wall, or she fell hard.
Maybe she got hit so hard with being woke, she just slammed against the wall.
And being woke sucks, guys. Don't do it.
Yeah, I'm pretty not woke. Let's go, Brandon. I'm just kidding. Anything that I say about politics is a joke because I would never actually give my IRL political opinion on stream. But
Because we'd get banned instantly.
yeah, I would get banned.
He's in some
yeah.
dark shit.
It's time for guillotines. That's one of these things is not a joke. I would like to just kind of. I guess I'm gonna turn to Dell, who's. You said Dell's 5'10"?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, yeah, this looks like Tony's height. just ballpark enough with you.
All right, I am going to call T minus 15 minutes.
Okay.
Well, we'll figure out when we get that footage to the broker, huh?
Yes.
Or at least that laptop.
Yeah.
Want to do a pass through number 3?
May as well.
We're here, and honestly, I don't plan on coming back unless we absolutely have to. So yeah, let's go on to the next one.
Okay. So as you guys make your way back to the elevator, you're actually going down several floors as you make your way to the 20th floor. And since you guys like room numbers for whatever fucking reason.
Well, we don't need it.
No, we do. We absolutely
I
need it.
need it!
Okay.
2319.
23.
Got 2319! 2319!
I was waiting for it.
8008.
Nice.
Got him.
2319. You know what I'm gonna ask for.
Yeah, no. So this one, I would say I don't even know if you need to roll for this one because at this point
We know what we're looking for.
you know what you're directly looking for, and nothing jumps out to you.
No scratches on the door, no marks on the door on the outside. Making our way inside, there's no sign of the door being pushed open, no
As
dent
you
of
open
the
the
doorknob.
door, nope.
Okay.
There are papers scattered all over the floor. Some have writing on them, some do not. A lot of them are jumbled balls of paper that were thrown out. There are several liquor bottles knocked over, dripping what little remnants there are onto the floor. This apartment is just absolutely trashed.
But it looks like we know Hemming was a playwright.
Correct.
So it just looks like a playwright who was deep in the creative juices.
Exactly.
Okay.
Spoken as someone who knows that very well.
What? No, shut up.
This apartment is more or less barren. In the living room is a single desk with an old school typewriter. You can tell this is where most of the papers have congregated onto the floor. The kitchen is loosely stocked with food. There's more alcohol than food in the home. There's just a single cot off in the bedroom. Clothes just kind of scattered across. But this apartment doesn't really fit into what the rest of what Echelon is as a whole.
Right. It kind of looks like this person got an artist's
Loft.
an artist's grant to live here.
Yeah. Yep.
May have been what's the word when a rich person like spends money on an artist?
Sponsored.
Yes, thank you.
What was he typing?
I go over to the
I think you were gonna say the same thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
I go over to the typewriter and I'm just, oh, cool, analog.
You see the trail end of what would have been the completion of whatever thematic of work was there.
And it
But
stalked in
miss-
through the front door, up to the rider whose back was turned, engrossed in his work, and with a sudden swipe of the claws, he
Meta.
but yeah, from what you can tell though,
The animal at Edith Park.
the page was not finished. Almost stopped mid-word.
Mid-word.
What was the word?
There's the letter A.
A for animal. Write this down. Write this down.
It's a clue. It's a clue.
Is that the
S-
mythos we're dealing with? Is the Muppets
The S is
animal?
partially pushed down.
Well, it kind of looks like somebody got the jump on him.
Lord.
But there was no sign of entry at the door.
And there's not a whole. I mean, it's a mess in here. I don't think there's a struggle.
Was Torsten also a runner at the park? Is that how they were all found? Where they were all runners?
They were all killed at Edith Park.
Okay, but they weren't all running.
No, Hemming Torsten's a short, stocky individual.
That doesn't mean you can't run, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, come on now.
I'm pro running, so don't disable
As a short,
people's
stocky
dreams.
individual, I can tell you, we don't run.
I am
Hey,
also
listen.
short and stocky, and I am
Shut the fuck
stocky
up. No, you
partially
are not.
because I run.
Spritz, baby.
Yeah.
With your arms?
No, I'm just my
He
legs
runs on
are
all
short.
fours,
Yeah, exactly.
like an animal,
Short,
like an
stocky.
animal at Edith Park.
Look,
Guys,
look,
it's Jeff
look.
Sitz. He's the murderer.
No.
Look,
Get
The
him.
mythos of Jeff.
Short and stocky is good for sprints.
Fun fact, there is a character named Jeff with the Knife, so
That's nice.
that was created during one of the world building streams.
okay.
He doesn't have a last name. It's just, who's that? That's Jeff. Jeff what? With the knife? Oh.
Whoa.
I haven't established when you guys are going to meet him, but you will be meeting Jeff with the Knife at some point.
Can't wait.
That's awesome.
That is a purely
God.
chat-created NPC.
I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go look and see what kind of meds he's on.
So that one is a whole lot of antidepressants.
Ooh.
Anti-anxiety, antidepressant.
Which we found it is called what, Boser?
SSRIs.
Word of the day! Word of the day!
Why is this turning more and more into a Muppet show?
True.
Fun fact,
we're
that was
dealing
my
with
plan
animal.
all along.
Wait, you guys aren't playing a Muppet?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are all Muppets.
Entire time,
Detective Cooper's the only
has
human.
just had
Actually-
someone with their fist up his ass.
I'm actually a Muppet.
I think the word you're looking for is furry.
I need
No.
this. I'm
It's
just
just
picturing
Elmo with a detective hat on.
like him sitting at a
So
desk
cursed.
smoking a cigar. Just like his little sock puppet. And just no one acknowledges that he's a sock puppet.
And Elmo was following the trail.
Takes a pull from a bottle of whiskey.
I can't send this because I gotta fix this. Hold on.
All right, gentlemen, let's keep pushing through this.
Yeah. So okay, no, nothing crazy. No, crazy drugs.
But no claw mark. Why do you think there were all those claw marks in Samit's apartment, but none here or upstairs?
I mean, as we've said, if this is the same person, then they've just been getting more neater and neater, or
The
possibly maintaining better and better control.
The thing that scares me about this is if we don't catch the next one, we may not catch him, or her, or them after that.
Exactly.
Huh. Yeah, they might be so good at it that it's just going to become undetectable. But the bodies have always been found. That's the thing. They've always been less and less mutilated, but they've always been found.
As you guys are sitting there talking, Cooper, your phone begins to ring.
Oh, great.
What's the ringtone?
Yeah, Cooper, what's the ringtone?
Well, who's calling me? I personalized the ringtones.
That
You
would
personalize
be
every ringtone?
Every ringtone. No,
You
just
are
one.
fucking insane.
I would just
Detective
hope that it
Scarlett
was
O'Hare.
Private Eyes.
Oh, Lord.
Who is she to me? Because I don't know.
One of the detectives at the PPD.
Yeah, Private Eyes.
Yeah.
You would know she is the main detective on this case.
You know what? It's gonna be.
You have worked with her in the past.
It's gonna.
Why aren't we working with her?
Can't we? It's gonna be Brooklyn Nine-Nine, like theme song. I'm gonna walk away from them
Okay.
and answer the phone. Like,
in the bathroom or the kitchen. Just kind of
Gotcha. Where are you?
I'm at the high rise. Why?
There's been another attack.
But we're supposed to have like 2 more. Okay. We're at the park.
At the park towards the statue. They didn't die.
Wait, huh?
She's alive. She's refusing to talk though. Like she's not here. She left.
And you didn't put her in like a restrained like custody? Like
We can't force her to stay here.
you can force her to stay at the hospital.
No, can't do that either.
Her safety is not like. Yes, you can.
She is refusing police custody.
She obviously she's just gone now. Any MO at all? Like any?
She was walking through the park, heard some rustling in the bushes, fought off some mangly beast, managed to get the life-saving blow, and she managed to get away. Bystanders called us in.
How many witnesses?
4 at the moment, but they're sleepers. They're not really helping much.
Okay. Do we know where she's heading?
She made her way back towards the apartments, but I couldn't follow her.
As in, like the high rise?
I mean, I can't guarantee she lives there, but 3 for 3 live there. I'm assuming the 4th does as well.
All right. Let me see if I can't intercept her.
All right. Just keep me in the loop.
Yeah, I'll give you a call.
Cool.
And then I'm immediately gonna like hang up. I'm gonna look at them and be like, don't do anything stupid. Meet me in the lobby when you're done. And I'm gonna like walk out.
Okay.
Yo, what the hell? Sorry,
Detective?
do people not say yo anymore? Hey, Cooper.
I gotta deal with this. Just meet me in the lobby when you guys are done with the room, please.
Is it relevant?
It sort of. It's let me do my. And I'm gonna. I gotta do my job.
I thought it was our job.
I also thought we weren't allowed in the rooms without you.
Look, I'm like yelling down the hallway. I hate all of you.
Mature.
All right, so we're going to split the scene here because I'm going to probably end on Lucas. So what are the 3 of you doing as the detective leaves?
Do we stay or go?
We do the shit we weren't doing before when he was here.
Eats Pop-Tart.
I'm gonna pull out a Pop-Tart and then I'm going to slowly lower the canister and I'm just gonna like pop the lid open and I'm going to speak aloud into it and say, what the hell happened here?
Andres, watching this, will pull another Pop-Tart out and hand it over to Dell.
Dope. And I'm just gonna plop down at the writing desk and kick my leg up and watch whatever's about to happen.
All right, so Alex, have we officially cemented how this plays out?
I don't want to voice this, if that's what
Oh
you're
no, I'll
asking.
absolutely voice
Okay,
it.
yeah.
I was determined. Like, have we established yet?
No, I don't think we've established it. I had an idea for a dynamic in mind, which is very, like... We don't have to get into it. I just thought it would be a nice ending scene for it to be, like, the zooming in on the tube, sort of, or...
No, yeah. So let's actually we'll come back to this, and then you and I can workshop this for the next session.
Great.
Detective, you make your way to the elevator. Do you take the elevator down, or do you take the stairs down?
Taking the elevator for sure.
Okay.
I'm tired.
20 floors, let's go.
So yeah, you make your way down the elevator. You stop at a couple of floors on the way as other tenants make their way into the elevator to join you. They don't really say much as you make your way back down into the lobby. But as you walk into the lobby, you don't see anybody coming your way. You do see Daryl open the door for the tenants that are walking out, but you don't see anybody walking in.
Right. I'm gonna go out and talk to Daryl.
Okay.
Before you say anything, those 3 are under control. If they break anything, that's on me.
I don't believe that.
I know. Can you do me a favor?
What's up?
If a woman comes in here and she looked a little beat up, you let me know.
Miss Penelope?
She already come in?
Yeah, she just walked in 5 minutes ago.
What room is she in?
I think she's on the 38th floor.
Gotcha. Okay. Obviously, you know what's been going on, Daryl.
Is she connected?
Well, let's just say she looks beat up for a reason.
She really didn't say much. She just kind of quickly rushed past me.
Look, Daryl, don't let her leave if she tries to leave.
That's not quite how that works, detective.
Daryl, don't let her leave.
I'll try my best.
And I'm gonna run up to and frantically click a button.
Okay.
Gotta go.
So as
fucking back up.
As
God,
the elevator door closes on the detective, we will shoot back for our final scene. Alex, go ahead and paint the scene for us for what you are displaying in front of the other two.
Yeah, so while Cooper's not here, he drops down to a knee and he carefully uncorks the top of this large canvas tube. And he reaches in and he sort of says, I don't quite know what I'm going to pull out of here, so maybe we take a step back. And on this particular occasion, he he reaches in and he pulls out a comically large pencil, and it's probably it's longer than the tube is, but it's very skinny. And you see engraved on the side of it, a number where it would be a number 2. You see a large EX, and then the side of it has caliber written down the side of it.
Nice.
This is my friend. You can
Do
call
we
him
finally
Cal.
get to play?
You can call him Cal. He's quite a nuisance, but he's also more observant than I am. So
Let's do this.
what happened?
Well,
That's
this ain't the weirdest thing I've seen today or nothing.
And
Is there a mouth?
Yeah. As soon as the pencil starts talking, am I getting this right? The pencil is talking right now?
yeah.
Yeah, so as soon as the pencil starts talking, Andresh's right eye starts glowing, and we can resolve this next time, MC, but Andresh is absolutely going to use Odin's Eye
Okay.
to try and figure out what the fuck this pencil is.
It's my friend Cal.
Also,
I gotta make notes on trying to remember that fucking voice so I can be. I figured out Daryl's voice.
Mm-hmm.
My goal is making notes so I can consistently have the same NPC voices.
When that
But-
pencil talks, is it just coming out of nowhere, or is there a mouth?
I think it changes sometimes, but I think that I don't know. Right now, it's probably got a mouth because of the voice that T's using. So I don't know. It just gives me that vibe.
Also, my
It's
name's
unsettling.
Like Roger Rabbit kind of big cartoon talking pencil.
Sorry, I'm making notes here real quick.
Yeah, I think it's not pleasant to look at, whatever it is.
And so is it a big pencil just in reality, and then it's actually Excalibur via the mist?
I think it's it always like, oh yeah, because like to you guys, I clearly pull out like a large sword, but it does its best to conceal itself as a pencil. So for comfort's sake, it looks like a pencil that I've pulled out.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like be past that into the mist.
Yeah,
you can
it
see that
takes.
it's a
I think it
dumbass
takes a little
sword.
more squinting to see the sword than like other mist things, just because that's part of its deal. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One-handed or two-handed sword?
Hand and a half sword.
Okay.
Hand
So
and
like
a half.
Claymore-esque.
Versatile basically is what it means. So hand
Okay.
and a half is meant for. It's mostly used one-handed, but it's
It's got you
the
can
option for.
you can hit the pommel.
Yes.
We've got a switch and we've got a verse. Perfect. All right, and on that note, that is where we are going to draw this episode to a close.
What does verse mean?
Time for
When a quick you
Googling.
save a search, it's the same thing as switch.
Oh.
Oh, did I? Oh, I put that under Cornelius. Whoops.
Short for versatile.
Yes.
Colin.
Like D&D.
Yes.
Short for dicks and dongs.
Still recording.
I'm gonna need that clip as well, please and thank you.
Oh, I'm not getting rid of it. That's going in.
That's my
All right.
ringtone on Lucas's phone.
I just need the
All right.
audio of him saying dicks and dongs for personal reasons.
Right.
All right, but on that note, thank you for coming back to another episode of our City of Mist actual play campaign. Do we know if we're doing the rules correctly? We're hoping. Are we probably wrong? That is a real possibility.
Yeah, we're
Will
trying.
We figure that out probably
Chime
towards
in,
the
City
end
of
of the
Mist.
campaign.
Right?
Also a real possibility. But we appreciate you guys stopping by for episode 4, session 4, episode 3. Yes, episode
Yeah.
4, session 3.
Something like that.
I
Will
don't
this
know
have a
anymore.
name? Maybe at some point. I didn't name
Maybe-
Kingdom Come
maybe
for
by
a
the
very
time-
long fucking time.
By the time feedback comes in from this Thursday's stream.
By the time
there will
Lucas
be-
has a solidified fucking character, this campaign will be named. So never. Anyways, thanks for coming back to 4 Geeks by Geeks. We'll be back on Monday. See, I would say Boser will be here on Monday with the Geek Out session, but his schedule is worse than mine, so we'll see.
I think it will. By this Monday, I think it's a thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
which Monday is this
Yeah.
Monday? 'Cause this-
I
I mean, what are you talking about? This is totally live. We're totally
Geek
doing
Out
this live.
sessions on Mondays, T-Paints on Wednesdays, TTRPG Thursdays are back in swing.
Speaking of Geek Out,
Yeah.
are we still doing the Geek Out during the credits?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
I got excited.
We're just
I
talking
thought
shop.
we were
I
gonna
thought
gloss
you were
over
wrapping it up here, so
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I got
worried.
I got to get us into our Geek Out during credits, and then
Okay,
we'll
okay.
do
Oh,
our
it's got to be
big
the
pod.
credits.
Yeah.
Got it.
But I gotta make
got-
sure I tell everybody thank you for coming back and dealing with our fucking stupidity on a week by week basis.
Just
we
making
appreciate
sure.
you.
I got Noivis.
I just wanted to be clear that I'm a genius every goddamn day, and I will not be joining in on the stupidity. But yeah, thank you for coming back.
But on that note, Mondays we got Geek Out sessions. Wednesday we have T-Paints. Thursdays we have TTRPG Thursdays. If you want to catch up on this story, don't worry. You can find it anywhere you get your podcast. If you like VODs more than listening to it audibly, that's your prerogative. You can catch that on YouTube or the VOD on Twitch for 2 weeks because we don't save them because that's just not worth it. So catch it on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok as I try to make that a fucking thing so we can find more people to hang out with us. It sucks. It's not great. Don't do it, guys.
Social media is hard.
Yeah, I know. That's why you're taking Instagram back over because I hate that shit. But on that note, let's do our Geek Out during credits. At the end of every session, debrief character development, crew growth, and crew relationships, and gain benefits accordingly.
There is,
Who'd like to start?
there is no benefit. We're still. Well, no, actually, there is a benefit for you guys, not for me. I'm still an asshole.
No, we're talking about in-game, Lucas. We're not talking about you as a person.
Both in game and as a person, I'm still an asshole. It's so easy. It's so
okay,
easy playing
I
Josh
yourself.
gave me a Pop-Tart, so I think we're soulmates.
I can.
Do I add a tag?
I can kind of start this. I know we're just kind of bullshitting around right now, but for those one of those 3 questions that we're supposed to be like solidly answering. Which of your themes is under the most strain? Obviously at this point, like, one of my weaknesses is paranoia. Andresh is very paranoid of this group finding out their secrets, as well as someone following after them. And especially with that final scene of Colin pulling out this sword that's a pen.
Pencil.
And as well as the detective, like, just taking off. Like, Andresh is torn between the two, trying to keep tabs on everything going on. And then all of a sudden the sword comes out, and it's just, like, almost without controlling it, Andresh's right eye flared up and immediately started trying to gather information. And Andresh isn't, like, for one, didn't really want that, but at the same time really wanted that. So, one of my themes is under the most strain. Oh, I guess one of my themes isn't really under strain at this point, but just, I guess with that weakness tag being almost triggered twice or invoked twice this session, I would consider that being the neon pillars kind of being under strain right now. If it collapses, what new aspect will show up in its place? That's the hard one, because I haven't thought about that yet. Although I guess if I lose the neon pillars, I'll probably take on a mythos that would match the need to be more anonymous, or hide myself, or avoid danger better. Because I'd be on the run if the neon pillars ends up falling outside of the broker's control. And the broker would then be more of a player rather than a persona that Andresh puts on.
To clarify, I make menacing faces. I would not make such a dramatic thing like that happen outside of a conversation taking place, regardless of hard moves.
Change the game.
I mean, that,
Hell of a change.
If the neon pillars gets, like, if enough of my shit gets burned with that, like...
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it would be something that was a build-up that you would be aware of that possibility. I'm not going to be like, you were gone for too long, so you just lost control.
Oh, no, absolutely.
That's
like,
shitty storytelling. You don't have to worry about that.
That's the point, though, is, like, there's a lot of stuff happening here that could set up the broker being revealed as Andresh, or Andresh being revealed as the broker, one way or the other. And so, like, if that happens, the neon pillars will be burned before the broker personality is burned. And so that's going to be something I'm going to have to address moving forward.
For me,
I gotta dip in a couple minutes. I'm so sorry.
Okay, go ahead. You do.
Sorry. That's I know. I hate to step on people's toes like this. I'm sorry.
Ow!
Okay. I'll step
my
on later,
toes.
don't worry. I think Colin feels a little more like he's less strained with Detective Cooper gone. He just doesn't think that Cooper holds any like respect for any of them, and he made that clear when he said "I hate you all" as he left. And I know that I don't think that Colin's humor lines up with that, even if Cooper was joking. So I think he's kind of like, all right, now that this asshole's gone, I'm gonna like try to get something actually accomplished. I think he doesn't. I just think he doesn't view Cornelius as a threat because of the persona that he's put off so far, at least. So there's a bit of like, I think I can just do this. And then as far as Andresh goes, there's some distrust, but I think you have to give a little to get a little. So I think that's why he chose to do this now instead of waiting, because I think that he needs to know who he's working with, and to do that you kind of have to give some of yourself to get something from someone else. So yeah, so he's kind of rolling that.
In the same vein, like I kind of was thinking that Colin didn't really like Dell, and so I was kind of putting on the back burner of my fuck list. Just kidding, it's not about a fuck list, but like the person that I could trust or that I'm gonna lean on, and then I Dell was really encouraged by the fact that as soon as the detective leaves, then you like open up and show us this thing. It was like, oh, I'm not the problem. Yeah.
Alex, I do want you to mark your relationship with the detective as a -1.
Oh, it's already been a -1.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, yeah, I've already had it marked as I've had a +1, -1, and a 0 to this.
Okay,
like,
dope.
Yeah.
Dope. All right, Lucas, give us a quick wrap up.
Quick wrap up. Cooper, this session especially is just like, I'm still playing the exhaustedness of using my perching from last session, and so I'm definitely like leaning into the weakness tag of ain't no rest for the wicked.
You don't grow on trees.
I am just tired, and
Got
I'm
mouths to feed.
continuing to be an
Nothing in
asshole.
this world for free.
And then my other weakness is still, collaborating with riffs, and I'm still feeling it out. So hence the reason I'm an asshole to you guys.
Have you invoked those at all? Like, are you getting attention on those?
No,
Okay.
because it hasn't affected my rolls yet.
Yeah, that's the
Oh.
thing, is it has to affect the
That's-
roll.
But they're still
Okay, thank
it's
you.
still a weakness regardless if I'm,
Yeah.
rolling it or not. So I'm playing into that. So like, hey, if I am using things and I am like tired, I'm gonna act that way. Hey, I'm not necessarily great with collaborating with you guys. Hence the reason I'm an asshole.
Well, what's hilarious is like we've got 3 people who aren't super comfortable with collaborating with the group fully, and that has been an issue for all 3 of us this session. Like, we saw that Colin didn't really pull out all the stops until you left the room. You left the room because you don't want all of us to be there with you when you're not interrogating, but
Talking with Scarlet.
yeah, talking to this new victim.
Scarlet O'Hare.
And like I had a weakness tag actually invoked because I didn't want to pull out the Raven drones to scan the room. So like we're not a team yet, and it's it's fun.
Yep.
It's fun figuring out that dynamic.
And look, who knew I could roleplay myself? I just had to create myself.
That's all you needed.
But on that note, we will delve more into this next week. Until next time, I am T.
I am Boser. Cannon.
I'm Alex.
I'm Jeff Sitz.
And I'm here, and that's the order now.
There you go.
We've done
And
it.
you guys just keep
Geeking
it
out.
out.
Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.